Hey, welcome to Backyard Woodworking. Another little handy shop tip for everybody. You need to make a pin or a scratch awl, take a nail, an old screwdriver. Say the handle's broke on it, the end's all messed up. Cut the metal part of the screwdriver off, or take a nail, I guess, cut the head off. Put it in your little drill. Battery drill, electric drill, don't much matter. Take a grinder or take a piece of sandpaper and glue it to a board. Either one will work. I like a grinder. This is a work sharp that I got. It's good for sharpening chisels and what have you, and lawnmower blades, anything. Turn on your work sharp. Turn on the drill. That fast, you got a pin, and I mean a pin that is sharp. You can put this in a jig. Like say you're going to make a circle jig. Drill a hole in it, push this pin in, cut it to length, the hacksaw, a pair of snips or something. Have the sharp edge sticking up, you can just push your workpiece on the top of it, spin it around, make a circle jig. You can use it on a bandsaw or a table saw, whatever. I made a little one here that fits for my circle jig. All I do is just drill a hole, distance from the end of my board to the radius of my circle, what I want for a circle. Now, in other words, if I want a 10-inch circle, from the edge of my jig, I'll go over 5 inches, drill a hole, insert this pin so it's exactly 5 inches, or maybe a hair further back so I have room for sanding. And bingo, you just spin that over your saw blade. I'll give you a quick peek. Now here's my circle jig. Piece of MDF, as you can see here. That UMF, whatever stuff, plastic runner material, you can get that. Lee Valley's one supplier that sells this, or you can buy it in sheets and cut them down. This fits into my slot. I made this extend past the blade, then ran the blade through it. So this is 100% square with my blade because this is square. Put this on, I squared it like so. You take your pin, drill a hole, and just push her right in like that. And take a piece of wood. Now say I wanted to make a circle here that was that big, whatever where that hole was. I have no idea what it is. And I could take this and I could push this down on it, or drill a hole in this piece. Now, this is sticking up a hair for this, but you could just you get my general idea here. So this would be hanging over. So even if you wanted to round the edge off here, you see how I can round that edge? That'll work too. It'll give you a rounded edge. But if this board was larger, you can see what I mean. You could just swing this around and make a circle. And this little guy right here, you can cut these to any length you want. I usually take it, even though this is sharpened up, if you're going something small, it's easy to use it that way. But you can take this piece right here and take a hammer and whack on it, and it'll go right in because this thing is really sharp. But then you can spin your piece around and make a circle. If I wanted a circle, say, I don't know what the size of this board is. I think it's a 1x10, it'll be about 9 1/4. So I could come in here, say 4 inches off the end here, and make an 8-inch circle. Because it would spin like this. You cut this edge off, and you would turn it around and cut the next edge off, and, vice versa, all the way around until eventually you cut enough edges off and you got almost a whole circle. Then just hold it up next to the blade here. See, this is exactly flush with this blade. It makes a good cross-cut sled too. Take yourself another piece cut that off there, drill some holes in it, flush it with the back. I know this is perfectly square because I cut it with my fence on my table saw. So you can take your square it up with the back here, like so, and you'll have, you can take the pin out, and you got a little cut-off sled too that you can use. You can make one of each, circle cutting sled, or put a couple of screws in here to hold this down for a cut-off sled. When you don't want to for a cut-off sled, take this off. Back to the circle jig. Just a handy little tip that you can make out of darn near anything. Like I said, you can cut a screwdriver off. Screwdriver that I have. You take a angle grinder with a cut-off wheel or a hacksaw, cut this off. You get this old burned up screwdriver tip here. I use this one for popping a hole in a caulking tube. If you don't have you need a bigger hole in there than that little pin does on your caulking tube. But you take your screwdriver, cut it off, take a piece of doweling, drill a hole, put a little epoxy in it when you're done, and just put this in your drill, run it on the grinder, and then make this into an awl, a scratch awl. So definitely put your pieces in a drill and spin it around. You'll get a perfectly round point. Say if you need a nice sharp edge to make a compass, like I made my beam compass. My video on that. Here's a beam compass I made. Pencil on one end. It's just a couple of pieces with a little piece spacers glued in here. A cut. Slide this back and forth anywhere as you want it, this bolt. And tighten her down. Now I got that sharp point. I did it the same way. And I can make an arc, a circle, any size I want. Just measure from here to there. And so definitely the way to go if you got to sharpen any object to a perfect point in the center. And if you have an angle grinder or not an angle grinder, but a bench grinder or like a work sharp that's a flat grinder, a disc sander, you could take you could use your belt sander, mount it on its side, clamp it down, use that. I mean, there's all kinds of ways of doing it, but at any rate, something that moves does it a lot faster than just sandpaper glued to a board. Well, I hope that tip helps you out. I know I got a little long-winded on it, but I tend to do that. But still, a lot of people don't understand and don't know, and just trying to help people out. Have a good day. If you like what you see and hear, please subscribe. By you subscribing, it helps support this channel. Now, a lot of guys are asking for donations. Oh, I wish I could take donations too, but hey, I just rather, I'm on an old-fashioned. I try to make it on my own, but just by watching and subscribing, make a comment, that's a donation in itself. That's what I need. So keep up the good work, guys. The subscribers are going up gradually, and eventually we'll get to some place where maybe we can make a buck on this channel and make it better. Thank you.